Hi everyone! 12 freelance writing tips for freelance writers. I've been freelance writing for a few years, and even though I am a full-time psychology student, I'm really busy with studying and doing assignments and schoolwork for my psychology degree, and I rarely have time to freelance write like I used to. That I'm still definitely, even though freelance writing, I rarely get to do it as a psychology student, I'm definitely going to continue freelance writing. Freelance writing, it's kind of like on pause for me right now, but I still would like to share my experience and tips for all the new freelance writers. And if you've been in the freelance writing field for like a year, then you might have already heard about these tips. If you're new here, my name is Laura and I post about lifestyle, planty videos, ethical skincare. Consider subscribing if you like to keep updated on what I post. And I'm definitely going to be posting more freelance writing videos, like maybe next year I'll start back up with that because like I said, I am currently studying psychology and it's a lot. So for new freelance writers, I recommend writing guest posts and making sure that the guest posts that you write is in the niche that you chose. So like, for example, there's the mental health niche, there's the healthcare niche. For me, I chose mental health and wellness, so that was my niche, and it still is my niche. And also writing guest posts on other blogs that have a lot of readers. So if you're in the healthcare niche, then you like to look for blogs that also have healthcare articles, and then you can do guest posts on their site, and then with each of the guest posts you get a they also include like your image, a description about you, and then one link, and that could be to your freelance writing site or something like that. So yeah, definitely recommend doing guest posting, because when you search for freelance writing gigs, they're looking for published freelance writing articles. Like, it's okay if your freelance writing portfolio has freelance writing articles that go to like Google Documents, for example, or like a Word documents. Also, it's good to include at least like 1 to 5 published articles on your portfolio. My second tip is to research the red flags for, like the freelance writing postings that you apply for. Some of the red flags could include them asking you for free samples, the type of posts that say that you'll need to submit a like a free sample on this topic and you'll have to write it. They could be taking advantage of writers, using other writers for their freelance writing articles, basically. If you have a portfolio with samples, then you don't need to be writing anything additional. They'll have to look at your portfolio that already shows all of your samples as a freelance writers. I don't think freelance writers need to be required to write additional 300 to 500 words on a certain topic, especially when there are a lot of people who take advantage of freelance writers and just using their writings for free. Maybe that's not a real job posting, they're just looking to get free content from writers. My third tip is to use accounting sites like FreshBooks or Honeybooks for invoices, for agreement documents, and prices, etc. There's a lot that you can do with FreshBooks or Honeybooks. I definitely recommend FreshBooks or Honeybooks because they are the most affordable. It also makes collaborating with all the different clients that you invoice easier. My fourth tip is to niche, which I already mentioned that earlier, but definitely becoming an expert in a niche is going to like help you stand out. Basically, you're going to have samples in your portfolio that are within that niche, and you're going to be looked at as an expert in that niche. My fifth tip is to have a freelance writing site with your portfolio and list all your articles, your process, ways that clients could reach out to you, and also if you have any like testimonials, you can include those on there. Having a freelance writer site is like an essential if you're going to be a freelance writer. It just helps you make you look like an expert in the freelance writing field. You could always include your freelance writing portfolio site on your resume. My sixth tip is to use an email that uses your domain. So if your domain is laurawrites.com, for example, then you'd like to use an email at like laura@laurawrites.com or something similar to that instead of laurawrites@gmail.com. It's just the best practice to have an email for your freelance writing site that has your articles on there. My seventh tip is to use free job boards like ProBlogger job board or Indeed or Career Builder or similar job boards to find freelance writing jobs. And also just search for different words like freelance writer or content writer or something that's in your niche, and so you can find a variety of freelance writing jobs. And also, if you're gonna email pitch, you can also do that as an option. It's basically you find the clients, let's say on Crunchbase, for example, on Line Leads, or maybe you use Google Maps to see which of the clients you'd like to collaborate with, whether it's like a marketing agency. Maybe they're looking for freelance writers, and then you'll be able to email pitch them and send them an email with your a description of your freelance writing. Sometimes if you look on Google Maps or if you look for like marketing agencies or marketing companies, you can look on their site. They may have a career page, and then they may also have like a freelance writing job posting, and then you'll be able to apply right on their site. You could do that, or you could also email pitch them as well. Basically, recommend sending email pitches. At least like 15 to 25 is the best practice when it comes to email pitching if you're going to be email pitching. You can do a combination of email pitching and free job boards. My eighth tip is to use Microsoft Excel, like Make a Sheets, to track all the email pitches that you send, or also the job postings that you apply to on free job boards. So if you find this freelance writing job on Indeed, for example, you can make sure that you document that on Excel sheets and put facts about the freelance writing job that you applied. And then this can also help you keep track of when you're going to be sending the follow-up emails to each of the clients that you send an email pitch to, or each of the job postings that you applied to on Indeed or a similar free job board. Yeah, so keep organized with an Excel sheets. My ninth tip is to increase your freelance writing rates with experience. So as you gain more experience and you're a freelance writer for a while, make sure to increase your freelance writing rates, because the quality clients, they value you, and it's important that you're being paid what you're worth. So basically, the best practice when it comes to paying rates, you can also check on Glassdoor. You can put like freelance writer and then a few other personalized fields. You'll be able to see like what's the most common pay rates. From the experienced freelance writers that I'd learned from, they said that at least 12 cents or more per word, or 250 to 500 or more per article. So you really want to be charging what you're worth and be paid fairly in the freelance writing field. Yeah, the most common option for freelance writers is the pay per article or pay per project versus the pay per word. Pay per project is basically what you would like to strive for, and being paid more than 250 per article is like the best practice and the goal. So at first, if you're new, you could like accept a few pay per words and all that, but then you'd like to increase your rates and make sure that you collaborate with clients that value you as a freelance writer. My 10th tip is to pay taxes quarterly on irs.gov. Your quarterly taxes are going to be like if you made the amount that you make for the month, you would like to calculate it with 25%. So let's say you made like $7,000 for that month. You take 25% of that amount that you made for that month, and then that'll be the amount that you save for taxes to pay for that quarter. So each month, like the first quarter of the year, January, February, March, you'd like to every month just document how much you made for that month and take 25% off that amount, and then you'll be able to pay the taxes quarterly. That way each quarter you're paying your taxes, and at the end of the year then it won't accumulate and it won't be really overwhelming. Definitely recommend also keeping an Microsoft Excel sheet to document how much you made for the month, and then take 25% off that, your monthly earnings, and that's going to go for taxes. My 11th tip is to use project management sites like Asana or Basecamp or other similar sites to organize all your to-dos and your processes as a freelance writer, including when you onboard a client as a freelance writer. What are your to-dos for onboarding? Freelance writers also sometimes invite their clients to the project management site. That way they can look at the to-dos and complete them. So if you have to-dos for each client, then you can invite them to Asana, and then they'll be able to view all their to-dos, for onboarding, and then you'll be able to collaborate much easier like that. And my 12th tip is to use a Google Voice. They have a free option when it comes to having a phone number. It's a way of setting healthy boundaries with, as a freelance writer, with clients that you collaborate with, because you won't be giving your personal number. You could use a business number, which is free with Google Voice. So I definitely recommend. And remember that it's okay if you already have a full-time job as a psychologist, for example. You can always freelance write on the side as a hobby that you enjoy. And those were all the tips that I have for freelance writers.